Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Do you believe in the power of prayer? If so, I want you to do something right now. I know we are physically distancing and we're just watching this through our screens, but if you do believe in the power of prayer, click the thumbs up button so we know that we are not alone in our belief in the incredible power of prayer. Today, I am going to tell you some stories from people at St. John's Church and experiences that they have had in answered prayer. If this is your first time visiting our channel, we are St. John's Grimsby Online, where we want to provide help and encouragement for your daily life. A few days ago, I asked a question for you to think about. It was this: have you ever experienced an answered prayer? And if so, what happened? On Sunday, we spoke with Derek and Ruth Meggs, who had a really incredible story of two answered prayers that they had experienced. One was really a journey through a difficult time, and there was praying happening throughout that, and a sense of guidance and peace and clarity that was coming from God. And another that Derek told of a person in his growing up time who was really giving him a rough time, and he prayed for that person. And later on, that individual came to faith in Christ. And so we heard really powerful stories of answered prayer. And if you haven't visited that service, I would encourage you to do that. I'm so thankful for those who did respond to the question. And since some of the stories are very personal that we're going to share, I'm just going to leave the names out of it for this week. But I want you to hear a couple of stories of answered prayer from our St. John's family. Received a story from someone in our church family who had one of their children was really struggling with their mental health, and the parents were doing everything that they could to help, and were just really not getting the answers that they needed to get help for their child. Just tried all kinds of things, and it just was, whatever they did was not working, and really began to pray for the situation. And it's just really at the right time, something totally beyond their control, beyond just the control of the person that was doing the administration at the place that opened up. There became a spot open at a place where their child could go, and was able to, first of all, get a really helpful assessment and to receive some treatment for the thing that they were struggling with in their mental health. And that was an answered prayer. So many things just needed to fall in place, the right time, the right opportunity, someone else with a cancellation, and all these sorts of things just lined up, and that was a real answer to prayer. Someone else wrote in with another story that happened just this past week. Their family members had moved to a brand new city, and just after moving, the cat ran away and was gone for several days. And I think we can remember, how lovely and balmy the weather was in January last week. And the cat was gone for 3 days, and they had no idea where to find this cat. This family was new to their neighborhood, didn't really know anybody, and decided to pray for the cat's return. Keep in mind, too, that this cat was in a new neighborhood, too, wasn't really in familiar surroundings. But within a few days, an answer to prayer, the cat came back. Not the very next day, but on the third day. That's biblical too. But again, God answers all types of prayers that we offer. One's for the health and well-being of people in our family, or for our pets, for the things that make us worried. Sometimes, as we heard on Sunday, God answers the prayers that we have for other people in helping them to experience a change in heart and coming to faith, or in a time when we're just confronted with an incredibly stressful situation and we need to think things through, and we need things to line up in just the right way. And Ruth shared that beautiful story of how God led her through that difficult time, and in supporting that young woman and her baby And that was an incredible answer to prayer. You're probably wondering, well, Kyle, have you ever had any answers to prayer? And my answer is certainly. If we didn't receive answers to prayer, we wouldn't pray very often, would we? Um, and sometimes for me, it's just the little things in maybe connecting with somebody in a very timely manner. Again, something that's beyond my control, but just helps the day-to-day things. And sometimes we get an answer to prayer, and it takes us a long time to actually accept that answer. I remember in my late teens, I was at a Christian weekend conference for youth, and there was a prayer time there. And the group of folks that were leading the group were one, two, three. The group of folks that were leading the conference were very much of a charismatic tradition, something that was new to me, but hey, that's how they want to celebrate their faith. That's great. And really opened up my experience. And in that time, decided, you know what, I kind of thought about it before and prayed about it before and prayed for the healing of my eyes and hoped that God would enable me to see. And that was, I was great at presenting him the case to say about all the great things that could happen and how incredible it would be, and what a great story it would be, and even trying to convince him that it would be a good strategic move on his part. A guy in a small town just miraculously receives a sight and it's from God, and wouldn't that be an incredible story? I was kind of lobbying, campaigning, not quite protesting for that to happen, and came into the prayer time at this gathering and really prayed, and it's like, okay, this is it. Like I really believed, and I still believe that could happen. And sort of in my time of prayer and really being earnest about it, in the midst of that time, really felt just this deep sense of peace as I was praying for it, and this thought that came into my mind just as clear as a bell, and one of the clearest thoughts that I have ever had, and it was almost like somebody was just speaking directly into my mind. And the message that I received was, my glory will be shown through you in other ways. And kind of at the time, I felt that peace. I thought, okay, well, I got my answer. And, the answer to my question was no. But God's glory would be shown through me in other ways. And I thought, okay. And so that evening I thought, okay, well, there's my answer, and that's fine. And that's an answered prayer. Okay. But it really took me a good, probably 12 or 15 years to actually accept that answer in truth, and to take that into my heart, and to realize that I didn't need to try and prove myself that I could do certain things, or that it was all up to me, or people didn't think I could do things, and just all of these emotional and mental battles that were kind of going on inside me. And then eventually just to realize what that meant is to be a part of a community of believers, and to really belong to them, and to enable them to do things that maybe I feel like I should be doing, but to really just allow them to glorify God, and to work with me in telling a story of how we support one another through our various abilities, or different abilities in that way. In the last few years, as I've been able to accept that and come to peace with that, and not feel anxious about that or feel less than about that, that's really allowed me to feel free, and freed me up to explore different areas of life and ministry. And that really is an answered prayer. And so that's a very long way to tell a story about how God, in a very powerful way, answered a prayer for me one evening, but it has taken such a long time for me to really accept that answer, to embody that answer, and again, look at it from the answer prayer going to God's glory and not just my own personal benefit. We wonder today, does God answer prayer? And the answer is yes, he does, in powerful ways, incredible ways. Even the smallest ways are remarkable ways. And so as we leave today, I want you to think about in your life the times that God has answered prayer for you, and take a moment to thank him. Until next time, be safe, be healthy, be blessed, and go in peace.